I'm Dr. Kate Lindsey from Kalmpets. I'm a veterinarian and animal behaviourist. To help your cat thrive as an indoor or catio cat, you need to know your individual cat really well, and you really need to know their preferences for different substrates, for what is their scratching preferences, what's their sleeping preference, where do they like to groom, where do they like to go when they want to have a little afternoon cat nap. So really, to help them to thrive in an indoor or catio environment, you need to understand the individual needs of your cat, and you need to meet those individual needs. There are lots of different ways that you can relieve cat boredom in a catio or indoor environment. But again, it comes back to knowing your cat and meeting your individual cat needs. You need to know what your cat's favourite place to play is. What is their favourite play style? Do they like to engage in predatory behaviour like almost every cat does? Making sure that you meet needs for predation in a way that is not going to impact your local environment. And it's very easy to do that in a catio. There are lots of different ways that you can bring the outdoors in without compromising the native wildlife. But also you want to make sure that they have opportunities to engage in predatory behaviour that doesn't involve a prey species, and using their food is one of the most important ways that you can enrich a cat's life in a catio or an indoor environment. This means that you want to use food in a way that your cat has to problem solve. And there are lots of different ways that that can be achieved in both a DIY type arrangement or by purchasing specific cat toys. But essentially you want to take their individual ration and you want to provide it in a way that they have to solve a problem in order to get their food. And that's what environmental enrichment is all about. There's lots of different cat puzzles out there on the market. There's a fantastic lot of resources as well, but one really simple one that we all have access to all the time is the humble toilet roll. And there's so many ways that a toilet roll can be used as a problem-solving type toy for your cat. You can put their food inside and you can scrunch the ends in a little bonbon, toilet roll bonbon. You can stack the toilet rolls into pyramid shapes and they've got to put their paw in to scoop their food out, and that actually mimics what they would do when they're hunting and looking for prey in the wild. And it gives an opportunity to carry out some of that predatory behaviour. Avoiding destructive behaviours in cats really is about meeting their need for scratching. There's lots of reasons why cats will scratch furniture in your home. When cats are engaging in what is a very normal feline behaviour, they are sending a signal to others in that home environment that I was here and I really love scratching in this place. They're also shedding their nail sheaths, which is an important normal feline behaviour, and they're also leaving some scent from their little pedal foot glands as well. So they're using it as a communication, they're using it as to meet a physical need to get rid of those sheaths, and making sure that you are attuned to your individual cat and what their preferences for scratching posts is really important to avoid destructive behaviour in the home. Some cats like vertical surfaces to do their cat scratching. Some cats like horizontal surfaces. Some cats like surfaces that their claws really get stuck into, and some cats don't like their claws to get too stuck because it's uncomfortable. So making sure you know what your cat prefers means that you can provide them with a replica of something that is more suitable other than your dining chair or your sofa, and you can maximise the success of meeting that behavioural need for your cat. When you're transitioning your cat from being an outdoor to an indoor or catio cat, you need to make sure that you're preparing your cat for that change, because it is going to mean a big lifestyle change for them. And the first thing you want to do is you want to set in place a predictable daily routine. This does mean we need to change from ad-lib feeding. Now, ad-lib feeding, while it's very normal, which means you're feeding your cat throughout the day, has been historically something we've all normally done. It's not normal for a cat to have food accessible to them at every minute of every day. So the first thing we want to do is we want to put feeding on a schedule so that cats have a natural waking hours and a nighttime rest period. That way you can get them used to not being so active at night time, because they are crepuscular. That means the cats are going to be out and most active when their prey species are most active. But cats, being one of the most adaptable domestic species that we have, can very, very easily and quickly adapt to having the same daytime, nighttime routine that we have. And part of that is meal feeding them in the morning and at night time, having a more valuable food source, so that they're encouraged to come indoors, and starting to get them to be inside during the day, so that we can gradually adjust them to that change. And then we want to provide that food in a way that they have to solve a problem, so that they are solving these food-based puzzles and their predatory behaviour is starting to occur inside the house rather than outside the house. And that means that their need and their motivation to be outdoors starts to become reduced, and they're spending more time inside the home. And then we're ready. We've got our foundations for being an indoor or catio cat. So there are lots of benefits to catios and being an indoor cat to your cat. One is that you obviously reduce the risk to them of having to be engaged in the social aspects of coming across unfamiliar cats and getting into cat fights, which can be very, very stressful for your cat and can create all sorts of behaviour problems like urine spraying, as well as result in many, many visits to the vet for cat fight abscesses, but also you immediately reducing the risk of motor vehicle type injuries, dog attack, and lots of other things that can happen to your cat when they are out and about, because they are very vulnerable in that environment. So providing that we make that transition and we've got the right type of catio and we've got the right type of resources, your cat can live a very, very fulfilled and healthy and long life indoors. Don't let your cat roam, it's safer at home.